Welcome to Fitness Fluent. I'm Anthony K. I'm here as always with Nikki. Nikki, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. We've brought on a guest today who's going to help us become more fitness fluent. Bricks, how you doing, man?
Hey, man, no complaints. What's going on?
I always want to start because I got, people may not know you. So we got to ask, what do you do and how did you get into this crazy
Oh,
world?
man. Interesting question. All right. So what I do now is a motivational speaker, a legitimate one, by the way, not none of this. I have 20,000 followers, get 100,000 likes, and call myself that. I actually host seminars and such. But so I'm a motivational speaker. I'm also a fitness coach, lifestyle coach. I work at a law firm as an office manager, and former pro natural bodybuilder. Now, the way I got into this emceeing thing was I got into a really bad car accident after signing a contract with the WWF, which is now known as WWE. So signed a $1 million contract, 5-year deal. And 4 hours later, got into a car accident where I was hit head on, broke my femur, cracked my hip, 3 broken ribs. So wrestling was done, bodybuilding was done, and I always wanted to help other people. But when this happened, this was back in 2005. So there was no online platforms, there wasn't social media, it's like Facebook was just starting to get off the ground. So I went to a promoter and was like, hey, can I be the head judge of your bodybuilding show? And he told me, nope, your voice sucks. You sound like a rapper. I think you're gonna bore the people. So I just used that shit as like motivation to fuel me. My friend Kevin was like, hey, I got a show. My MC pulled out and I need you up here tomorrow if you can do it. Said, hell yeah, went up there, had no clue what the hell I was doing. And he was like, just be yourself because I don't care what you do. And I just used who I am and literally turned that into a business.
Wow, so much to unwrap there. Okay, I want to let's take it in chunks, and Nikki, feel free to jump in because obviously you know him a little bit better than I do. But okay, so first off, where are you from?
Originally, I was born in St. Lucia, which is the British Virgin Islands.
Yeah.
So I speak with an American accent because when Americans hear any island, the first thing they say is Jamaica, as if they've never left the fucking country. So I've learned to speak with an American accent. But I'm originally from St. Lucia, lived in Brooklyn for a very, very huge portion of my life, and now I reside in Connecticut.
Okay. I got, as a kid, and most people I'm sure tell you this, as a kid, I was a huge WWF. I was a huge wrestling fan. So that's gonna be the first thing I go into. So like what was the persona? What was like that what was your hook? What was your angle?
The hook was when I look back on it now, it was like almost like a black version of Stone Cold, but with more of like a Goldberg feel to it because of the size that I carried back then.
Which was
I was like, I think I was around 275, 5'10". I had traps that just sat way up here because I wanted to be like Dexter, not Dexter, what's his name? Johnny Jackson. So all I did was shrugs. That was how I built my body at first. It was just shrugs. And because I was able to, like speak very well on the mic, so being able to deliver a very good promo, that helped me. And then having, the street background, being from Brooklyn and being able to talk that slang talk, it was like, yeah, we're going to go in this angle with you. So, it kind of worked out.
It's funny how life throws you curveballs because I always tell everyone the story. I played basketball. I was on a basketball scholarship, and the last game before I was going to actually go play in Europe, to actually get paid.
Mhm.
I tore all the ligaments in my ankle, my Achilles, and my arch. And like, you're
Ooh.
never playing basketball again. It was literally the last game. So once you said I signed the contract, and then I got into a car accident like that day, I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
and kind of my next point, I got really
Mhm.
depressed. So I
Yes.
want to dive into the motivational speaking, because clearly I know, right, from
Mhm.
that depression, you have to get out of it one way. But how do you? So this is for Nikki. How do you guys then connect? He announced you as a pro. So how does that happen?
Well, he did a speech the night before as well. So we have a registration night the night before. So WFF is a different organization. Our registration night is like a red carpet. It's all out. I was in a dress, had my makeup and hair done. I felt like a fucking queen. So he came up and there was a few people that spoke, a few pros, and they were just kind of going over, rules, kind of format, how we're going to go about things. We did that as well. It was kind of like a meet and greet. Everyone kind of introduced themselves and they all talked about the organization, what they liked about it. Then he introduced himself and he motivated the hell out of me. I was trying to get my phone out to film him and he was like, nope, this is only for WBFF. So I had to put my phone up, but I was like, you're motivating the fuck out of me. So I will attest for his motivational speaking. Just from that speech, he motivated me. And then we chatted here and there. We don't know each other that well, but we clicked really well. I like his vibe. I like his energy, and he motivated me. So I was good.
Well, it's funny. I was going to ask you your first impression, but you already told me right off the bat. So then I think, again, being through it, it feels like a natural progression to me, but everybody else can say, I don't get it. So how do you go from that high, right? That high to probably your lowest, unless something else happened, but probably your lowest, at least professionally.
Yeah.
How do you pull yourself out of that and be like, okay, now I'm going to do this other thing? Because once your life goes from, you see a path and now it's like, that path is dead. It's gone. It's
Right.
tough for a lot of people to do that.
Yeah. All right. So for me, I don't know how other speakers, quote unquote, get into anything. For me, it was waking up, and the first question I asked the doctor was, did I lose my leg? Because before I went under, they was like, if we don't get you into surgery, we might have to amputate. So, going into that, waking up, I'm like, oh, what the hell, So they said, yes, you still have your leg, you still have use, you just have a rod in there. It's got to stay in there for the rest of your life. All right, so got depressed because I thought I would never be able to lift again. I wouldn't be able to, be an athlete. And that hurt like hell, So it was like, all right, I had to will myself because nobody else was going to allow me to feel sorry for myself, and no one really cared after a couple of weeks. It was more like, all right, you're in a wheelchair, you're good. Come on, let's go do something. Then, you're on a cane, you're on crutches. But what it was for me was a friend of mine competed in a show and he placed second to last. And he messaged me and was like, hey, if I send you some pictures, can you tell me what you think? Sure. And he was giving me this song and dance of how the judges didn't look at him and he had the best package and all this crap. And he was like, I'm sick of this. I'm done with it. And something inside of me was just like, listen, you're bullshitting. Like, you're talking to a bodybuilder. You know what I mean? I'm looking at your physique. It's okay. But you're sending me solo pictures of you, send me pictures of everyone else. And when he did that, I was able to break it down for him. And then be like, all right, let's go back to the gym and let's do this and let's do this, let's do that. And change the way he viewed being on stage. And from there, he was just like, man, I'd pay money to have you talk to me like this every week. That was it.
And that was it. There's like, hey, I figured out a way.
Yep.
Nikki, make us fluent. When he says he had the best package, he's not talking about that package. What's he talking about?
His overall stage presentation. So his overall physique and routine.
And not, is it the package of like moves and flexes and poses? Is that what we're saying by package? Okay.
Yes, not as balls.
We need to make that. We need to be clear.
Yes.
Of
his physique and his routine when he's on stage, how he looks compared to all the other guys.
All right. So I know you're talking to people. You're telling them, hey, here's the things you need to work on. Here's how you get motivated.
Mhm.
on a day-to-day basis, whether it's whether Nikki's getting ready for a show, whether it's one of your clients who's getting ready for a show,
Right.
or whether it's just a regular person day to day, what are some of the things you need to do or tell yourself, or what are some of the techniques to keep yourself motivated? Because when you say I was 5'10", 270, I always laugh because I'm like, I'm 6'3", 270, but my weight's in a lot of different places. And you need to get motivated to
Yeah.
work on those things. So yeah,
Right.
I'm not going to stand
Yeah.
up. So
God.
so what is it? What are some of the things you tell your people, or what are the things kind of everybody can do just every day to continue to stay? Because it's tough. Let's be honest.
Right.
It's tough to stay
Yeah.
motivated because it's so easy to make an excuse. I'm tired. I got stuff to do. Whatever that I'm hurt. I can't do. For me, I can't do anything on one leg.
Mhm.
How do you do it?
All right. So what I always do, my approach is honestly the truth. And
No.
I try not to sugarcoat it too much, but I always put a little bit of humor to it.
Okay.
So the first thing I always tell people is, one, kill the excuses, right? Instead of saying I can't or I don't have time, I always tell them, take out the word can't, take out don't have time, and put the word preference. So I prefer not to go to the gym at this time. I prefer not to work out. I prefer not to eat healthy. That's what you're prioritizing. So if it's something you really want, you're going to do it, whether it's by force or it's by necessity. And what I mean by that is we all have to get up and we all have to work, no matter what, even if we work for ourselves. You have to get up early. You got to put those hours in, and you got to make that money, right? Now, there are days where we don't want to get out of bed, but because we have to, you're forced to get up, go out and make that money. You don't make that money, you don't eat. Can't pay your bills, you lose your home, right? So I always look at it like, if there's something you want to do, then you have to prioritize that in your life. If not, then you're making an excuse. And for that, I can't accept it based on where I came from, based on coming out of a wheelchair, walking again, to doing what I'm doing. I've been through every single stage of depression, highs and lows. So anything you give me is nothing more than pure bullshit.
So it's interesting how you phrased it, because my father-in-law, God rest his soul, he always used to say, there's no I can't, there's only I won't. And I always struggled with that, because I know that that's true, but it's very like, yeah, okay. But to actually say out loud, I prefer not to work out today, it really puts it on you, right? It's not like I can't. It's not like there's something else, an external thing that's stopping me from doing it. So I find it, I really like that, because it's like, I prefer. Well, that means I'm making a choice. I'm making a choice not to eat healthy. I'm making a choice not to work out. And now you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, well, I look this way or I feel this way because of my choices. And that's, I love that. Nikki, I see Nikki's like, oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I coach my clients. My goal is to build self-efficacy. Like I don't want my clients to be with me because they need me. I want them to be with me after a certain period because they want to be with me, because of the accountability and the push. Like I really try to not like give knowledge and education. Hell yeah, self-responsibility perspective is what we all need, because at the end of the day, it's our mindset and our choices that we make. And it's not easy. No one's saying it's easy, but what are you going to do? Are you going to mope after a while when there's nothing else you can do? Or are you going to do something about with what you can do?
Yeah, see, I like the excuses, and you guys take those away. So we gotta figure something out, because there's another one that I heard, and I can't remember who said this, so I am stealing from, it was a celebrity, but they're like, people aren't lazy, because if I told you, I want you to meet me here at 4:30 in the morning, and I'm going to give you $5 million. Every single person is going to be there at 4:20, like just ready, right? And so it's not that you're lazy. It's just whatever you're doing, it's not motivating you to, you're not motivated to do that thing. So you need to find out what that motivation is. So if we can we're going to give everybody one, we're going to go around the horn. I'm not going to do it because I'm the last person they want to hear from. So I'm going to go just between you. You got to give kind of your one tip of the day. It could be, Nikki, literally anything. It could be motivational. It could be a better way to work out, a better way to eat, anything you want. what if people just only watch the last 2 minutes of this, what should they take home?
At some point throughout your day, every day, you need to give yourself, I would say, at least 30 minutes. Obviously, we're supposed to take hour lunch breaks. People don't take a minute for their damn lunch break nowadays, or they eat while they're still freaking working. I'm talking about my clients as well. Take at least 10 to 30 minutes minimum, that interval, and just really breathe and see how you feel. See, like, because we're going so fast through our day, through our routine. Sometimes we're irritated. Most of the time when we are feeling things, we take them out on our loved ones or the people close to us, or we hold them in and then we end up exploding like days later. Just breathe and see how you feel and see what's like really affecting you. You ain't got to think about it. You ain't got to process it, but just start like that daily routine of giving yourself 10 to 30 minutes to just breathe and see how you're feeling. Start there and then figure out what you need to do with it. That's when you're going to be able to figure out your why and when you want to get up at 4:30, besides for $5 million, which I would totally do as well.
Oh yeah, I'm there for that. Burks, man, what about you? Again, it could be literally anything you want, but what's the one thing that you're like, this is what you need to do on a daily, on a weekly, whatever it happens to be?
Right. I'm going to segue it into two parts because I have one that I love telling people. But the first one is literally personal responsibility and learning to make yourself a priority. What I mean by that is you're no good to anyone if you're miserable. You're no good to anyone if you're constantly making excuses. Nobody wants to be around a miserable person. I don't care how cool you are, how much money you got, how many followers. If you're constantly miserable, you're going to push people away, right? So people are attracted to positive energy. And the way you develop positive energy is by taking personal responsibility for how you feel. Meaning, everybody has triggers, but it's not the world's responsibility to tiptoe around your triggers. It's your personal responsibility to figure out what triggers you and you work around that. You understand? Because the world is not going to hand you shit. And with that being said, everything in life is a competition. I don't care what you're doing. You want to be the best father you can be. You want to be the best radio host. You want to be the best podcaster. You want to be the best at whatever you do. So you have to learn to work hard at it. And in order to work hard, you have to keep this one thing in mind, which I love telling people. Second place went home already. Where do you fall in line?
Second place. We have to say it again. Second place went home already. I love that. Might be my next tat. Let's be honest. It's gonna go somewhere. I don't know where, but maybe right. All right. Hashtag second place went home already. I really like that. And I'm actually going to piggyback, Nikki, just because there is places you can go, because this is something that helped me. I know, because my brain is like a million miles a minute. It's just like, it's going crazy. And every day you can find this all over YouTube, by the way. You can check out Fluent Relaxation, by the way. It's a new channel on YouTube. I'm working on. Yeah. So you could go, there's 2, 3, and 5 minute, just like it's like waves, it's just the trees, whatever, and it's just go somewhere quiet. I found that I read this, tilt your head back. I don't know, do you guys do this? Tilt your head back and look up. Have you tried that before? Tilt your head back and look up and then breathe. You immediately feel less stress. I didn't believe it. And then I did it and I was like, yeah, that actually really works. So take that time. I love self-accountability. There's not enough of that today. I say this all the time. I'm not just talking about kids. People always say, oh, you're picking on the young people. No, I'm talking about grown ass 40, 50, 60, 70-year-old people who just always want to point the finger. And I'll steal a line from Michael Jackson. You got to start with the man in the mirror.
Yes, sir.
That's the most important one. Yeah, you're laughing. Nikki's like, that. She's too young for that one. You should go listen to that. It's very... All right, Burks, man, I really appreciate it. Where can people find you? Because you are a good follow. There's tons of stuff to hear. So where can people find you and follow you? Because listen, ever since I started following you, I kid you not, it's been 5 days. I feel like I need to go out and do more stuff. So it's definitely worth it.
I really appreciate that. All right, so You can find me on two social media platforms. One, if you want to have a good laugh and your day is stressful, you don't want to think about nothing, you just want a good laugh, I'm on Facebook. You can follow me under Bricks. Last name is St. Clair, ST period, CLAIR. That's on Facebook. If you want to be motivated, whether it's in the gym, whether it's in business, learning how to start a business, how to follow up on certain things, then I'm on Instagram under Bricks, the Boss. That's DABOSS. And I'll tell you what that means at the end of the program, what the boss stands for.
I was going to tell you there's no other way to spell the boss than DA. Nikki, we know we can find you at Nikki with 2 I's at the end, _fitness. For now, there's more coming. We're not going to tell you, though. We're not going to tell you yet, but there's more coming in the upcoming weeks. I see the motivational part. So I got to pause before you tell me why the boss. I want to know about the funny part. Why is Facebook if you want to have a laugh? I need to hear about that.
All right. So what happened is, although I'm a motivational speaker and I'm a big guy, right? Like, I also realized that I have a responsibility to myself, meaning the way I'm perceived in today's society is I'm scary looking. I kind of resemble Suge Knight a little bit.
I didn't want to say it, but
but I see it. You know what I mean? But I definitely see it.
It's why I'm not rapping. I'm scared you're going to hold me out of a balcony or something and ask for the rights to my song.
So, resembling Suge Knight, but being as muscular as I am, I do understand that the perception of Black males nowadays is the intimidation factor, I may not be approachable until you get to know me. So what I always do is I always put the joke on myself. I make sure that the room and the energy in the room is very lighthearted. And if you are the biggest guy in the room and everybody is comfortable, then I wind up becoming more comfortable. So when the pandemic happened, I know a lot of people didn't know how to deal with it. And a lot of people was going through depression. Some people had suicidal thoughts. We had a lot of females that were in abusive relationships and they just needed some form of an escape, right? Now, I'm not a saint. I can't be everywhere at all times. But what I realized is sometimes laughter is so therapeutic for people. And in this climate of sensitivity that I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to go on social media. I'm going to crack jokes. Nothing is off limits. And the purpose of the jokes is to actually create engagement on the platform. And in doing so, I've been messaged by a lot of people that was like, I really needed this joke, or I really needed this post that you put up. And it was like, do you have anything else? And then through that, I was able to help people get out of relationships. I was able to help people start, online businesses. So the jokes is basically just to lighten the mood for people because everybody's coming at them with, you need to do this and you should do this and you don't need this. And I'm like, everybody needs to smile and just laugh and just relax and we can all get through this together. So that's where the jokes on Facebook came from.
Okay. Yeah. Well, everybody is way too sensitive and uptight right now. I hear that 100%. I'm going to ask Nikki to give us an honest answer. I know that you know him a little bit. Is it that he's funny or are people just scared to tell him that he's not? Be honest.
I feel like I really want to crack a joke here right now, but I don't know him well enough to crack a joke.
which means yeah, he's just really big.
So we're not Facebook friends, actually. So
you're not? Oh, okay.
Official.
Well, there you go, Bricks. You just got 2 new Facebook followers because we're friends. Because now we got to see if you're actually funny. Because I'm behind a monitor, so I'll tell you the truth.
We need to bring him back 2 episodes from now and then ask me if he's funny.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. We'll do a rewind in 2 episodes from now. So okay, so tell us now. So now we got to get to the serious, the business. Why the boss? Why because everybody says I'm the boss. Why are you really? Why are you really?
All right, so boss to me, and we get into the boss. Boss to me is how I've always lived my life and always ran my businesses and my companies. So boss to me, BOSS means business over stupid shit. No matter what's going on in your life, business first. You know what I mean? Like if you stay business minded, then you don't operate off of emotion. You know, you operate based on intellect, and you learn how to discern when someone's BSing you or someone's trying to get over on you. So if it's business over stupid shit, then the DA is definitely always business over stupid shit. That's what Blitz is all about.
It's great that you brought up the take out the emotion, because you I don't know if my Twitter, you know, everybody pins now, they pin their number one tweet. So if you follow sports_fluent, you'll see the pin that I've looked, just so you guys know. I'm not, you please feel free to prove me wrong, because I've Googled it if someone else said this first. I believe if I ever become famous, this will be the quote. Emotion is the death of reason.
Yes.
And that's my thing. And I tell everybody, and they're probably sick of hearing it from me, because I keep telling people, you keep making decisions based on emotion. And guess what? They're always bad decisions because it's based in emotion. So I really like that you said that. As a gentleman, I'm going to give the last word before we say goodnight to Nikki.
Yes.
Not even based like the decisions that you make with your emotions, but like what you're looking at in front of you. You're looking at it emotionally. Get your emotion out of it, see what it is, and then move on.
Bricks doom. That's a wrap. It doesn't get better than that. Nikki, thank you as always. Bricks Med, it was a pleasure. I'm gonna have you back on again, and you will be finding a new person linking you on Facebook, but probably someone else message you and saying, hey, I need a little motivation today. So I'm gonna,
I'm all for it. And I'm definitely looking forward to coming back on, man.
All right, absolutely. Sounds great, man. We appreciate it.